Hey guys, LadyLibertyStacker here. It is Friday, March the 26th, 2021, and I haven't been around for a while. I've been busy just working on my store, taxes, just a lot of stuff going on in my own personal life, so I haven't been here. Also haven't done a lot of sourcing since my last video for cast irons, and I always tend to be motivated to make a video when I get new stuff. I did get some new stuff, a couple of pieces here. And I wanted to also give you an update on the pieces I got last time, which are here. And I'm going to start with this piece right now. And just this piece is older. And just wanted to go over that with you here. Turn on some more lights so you can see. This piece was the very first piece I ever acquired. This is a marked Wagnerware Sydney-O, model number 1056Q, and I did everything you shouldn't do with cast iron restoration on this piece. This is one of my favorite pieces. It's shiny and black, but I put this in a self-clean oven, but Wagner's are a little thicker than some of your other vintage cast irons, so it got through the process okay. Now when I did buy this, I used the credit card test and checked to see if it spun, and it did not. Putting it in a self-clean oven might have given it a little bit more movement. This is on a flat countertop. It moves a little, but when it heats up, it tends to move a little bit more than that. But it's still one of my best pans that I go to. I can make a grilled cheese in here. I usually use my girdle for that, though. But my go-to for this pan is gravy over toast. I love to make hamburger gravy or ground turkey gravy, sausage gravy, that kind of thing, and put it over toast. And this is my favorite pan. I also did some wire wheeling it, just removing off the rust, but I did not take off the original metal. If you look closely enough, you still see some of the mild pitting there. You see some of the utensil scratch marks there. I don't know if you guys can see it under the camera light, but I just wanted to point that out. I just used this pan the other day, and I thought it would make an interesting talking point. If you know what you're doing, you can use a wire wheel if it's something, like I said, that's not super collectible. You don't want to grind it and all that kind of stuff, just to kind of take off any rust. But now that I mention it, I haven't used a wire wheel in quite some time. I try not to, so it's something you don't want to do unless it's the last resort. I also don't use self-clean oven. I just do the old-fashioned way: lye, bath, soak it, vinegar, wash, scrub between each of those, and get back to the lye bath. So anyway, that is the Wagner 6. And I also want to bring you up to date on my other cast iron here. So I'm going to put this aside. This one here is an unmarked, I think this is a Lodge. It only has 2 coats of seasoning on it. It looks pretty doggone good. I used the Easy Beasy seasoning stick on this one. It makes it nice and dark and gives it kind of a dark black grayish kind of finish when you're all done. This one here has a little bit of brown on it, and it's all based on your metal, what the metal you start with and how it's going to color up. But this is a beautiful Dutch oven. It's a, I believe it is a 5-quart. These are hard to do. They're very heavy. Like I said, this has 2 coats, but it's extremely smooth. It's got a nice bail handle on it. The bottom side is just only marked with an 8. You can see there. So I'm going to have to do that one again. I'm going to have a couple more coats on this one that I'm going to do. And then you can tell it's a Lodge because you see the font that's typical with Lodge. It has the raised mold mark there. It's got the size 10 1/4 inches, and it's got the number 8. So this is an unmarked Lodge. I will be right back. I'm going to put that one in the oven to do again, and I will continue on. Okay, I'm back again. These are the next 2 pieces that I have 4 coats of seasoning on. Again, I use the Easy Beasy seasoning stick. This one is a BS&R. And I'm not sure what series it is. It has an unusual 8 with a dash there with the period underneath it, but I do believe this is a BS&R because of the handle. It's ribbed, that goes all the way to the sidewall, and that's how you can tell It's got the inset heat ring, which is typical with those. And it also has very, very little pour spouts. Very typical with BS&R, but they're thicker, they're sturdy. This one I showed on my last haul, or my last pickup, I believe, and this one cleaned up real nice. What I want to show you here is how you qualify them. And before I do that, I'm going to show you the next one. This is I got this from an auction, online auction. This is a marked Vollrath Ware number 8. And you very rarely find them marked. They're usually unmarked, and if they're unmarked, you'll see the 8 on its side, on the bottom, with the dash next to it. And it has a ribbed handle with different levels here that goes directly into the sidewall. It goes up. So you always recognize this as a Vollrath. And this one here has a little bit more of a defined pour spout, kind of typical of Griswold, but Griswolds are actually a little bit larger. This one again has 4 coats of seasoning on it. Turned out beautifully. I'm going to get ready to list these. I may give them one more coat just for kicks because I have to do that Dutch oven. Sometimes I like to do that. The more coats, the better. These are just gorgeous, gorgeous pans. So what I need to do now is show you how I qualify. I'm going to go ahead and put that down right there so you can enjoy that. I don't find a marked Vollrath very often. They're very, I would say they're not like ultra rare, but I've never seen one. This is the first time I've ever run into one. It was an online auction. All right, I'm going to put the camera down, and we have our skillet right here. And I want to quantify the movement because I'm going to get ready to list these. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and push the handle and see if it moves. It doesn't move. It doesn't spin around. Okay, guys, I'm back again. The camera cut off, but I was telling you how to quantify movement. Well, it doesn't spin, as we see. Now, what you do is I check at 4 different areas of the pan. I go from noon to 6, starting with the handle. There's a slight wobble. It's very slight. And then I go from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock. No wobble. From 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Very slight wobble. And then from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Again, a very slight wobble. I take a standard size business card and I slide it underneath. I'll show you from up here. Slide it underneath that side, and there's still some wobble. It's not a big deal. Some people just have to know if there's wobble, so this is how I clarify it. We'll put another card in there. And just a little bit. And we'll try it with a third card. No wobble whatsoever, none. So we're going to do the same thing, and we are going to do it. A little bit of wobble from 9 to 3. And we're going to start by putting one under this. It doesn't matter what side you do it on. Still a little bit of wobble there. We're going to put, and you can hear it too when you go back and forth. And that almost eliminates it with 2 cards, standard size business cards. And you put 3 cards in there. From 9 to 3 it's gone, but it creates a wobble from here. So I would just simply say there is a slight wobble that 3 standard size business cards will remove. And then what you do here is you measure that, and that is actually about a 1/16 of an inch. It'll give them it'll quantify any of the movement. But essentially speaking, it's going to work just fine on the glass stovetop. So that's how I do. So that's 3 business cards for movement. And again, it's going to be from, basically from 8 to 2 or 10 to 4. The next one is the Vollrath. You don't want to bang your countertop, but here I push the handle. It moves even less than the other one. Very little movement whatsoever. So we're going to take a card, and so we're going to see no wobble from 9 to 3. And we figure the clock face, I always base it from the skillet this way, right side up, 9 to 3, no wobble. We have a little bit of a wobble between 8 o'clock and 2 o'clock, 10 to 4, teeny tiny, 9 to 3, there's nothing. So we're going to put a single business card in there. It totally removes any movement whatsoever. This one is nearly perfect. It's got some wear on it. This is an old skillet, probably early 1900s. But again, you got one business card of movement, sits flat on a surface that's flat and does not spin on a counter cooktop, or glass cooktop. Now, if you have any questions, put them below in the comment section. I can address that. And that's applicable to anybody that is concerned about if a skillet will work for them that's buying it online, sight unseen, or somebody that, wants to sell their cast iron online and wants to quantify it. I kind of came up with that technique. It works wonderful. It works wonderful. Just wanted to make sure I was still recording here. So I stopped in on the way back and I checked my favorite booth in this antique mall. It's not a real large one. I think they have like 91 vendors. Some of the larger ones have 300 and 400 vendors. But what I ended up getting was an 8-slice cornbread pan. I just sold the BS&R one. Beautiful. It was all done up really nice. This is a lodge. This is an older lodge. If you can see the 8 there. And this was made from the 40s through the 70s. After 1970 or so, they started stamping Made in the USA on it. This is going to clean up really, really nice. Doesn't matter about spin as much here, but it doesn't spin, it sits flat. Doesn't really matter. But anyway, I'm going to put that to the side. With a cornbread skillet, you generally bake it. You could probably bake quiche in there. Or cheesecake or what have you. So, at any rate, that is a lodge, an old lodge. This one here was what I was after. It's a 12-inch skillet. It's got really nice sidewalls, well-developed spouts. And I had no idea what it was. I thought it might have been a Griswold, but the price was only, this one was $10, the BS&R. This one from the same vendor, get down, get down. Look, he's on the countertop, get down. Stupid cat. Actually, he tries to climb up there to get my attention anytime I do a video. Anyway, this one here was only $16, and I gave it the spin test, and it does not spin on my glass cooktop. And it's got a little bit of rust on here that needs to come off. No cracks that I can see. For $16, it was worth a chance. Got a nice external heat ring on the back. And you can see there a diamond. It's a number 10. Here's the handle. And based on a little knowledge, or if you don't have knowledge, just look it up. This is a Chicago Foundry diamond mark, diamond logo, number 10. So that's kind of how they logoed their pieces. Doesn't actually say Chicago Foundry. You hardly ever find any of the Chicago Foundry, Chicago Hardware Foundry, I think it's called. But you hardly ever find them that they're actually labeled with the name. But this is a prize. This is a number 10. You hardly ever find them. I don't find this brand too often at all. I was super stoked to get it for 16 bucks. Oh, super stoked. And I said, do you have any more? And he said, yeah, you can look around. And I missed this little guy in the same booth, so I made another round in the whole antique mall. Then at the last minute, I thought I'd come back to check this one. This is a number 5. And I will pick up 5s that carry a little bit more value than your 3s. 2 and 4 are valuable. 3s, not so much. They're everywhere. 5s, they're actually rarer sometimes than a 7 or an 8. But this has really well-developed pour spouts. And I just had to know if it was the creme de la creme. And I flipped it over, and sure enough, it is a large block logo. EPU, meaning Erie, PA, USA. Model 724C, number 5. Griswold. So I was super happy. I gave it the spin test. And it has a little bit of movement, but it does not spin. and it has a slight wobble. So I'm going to go ahead and put my camera down, and we're going to go ahead and test it there. One business card pretty much removes it. You can hear it just a little bit, the rock back and forth. 9 and 3, there's a little bit of wobble there. One to two business cards removes that, so I was super stoked to find this one. This one cost a little more, it was $35, but that was well worth it. So anyway, so I did get the Griswold, and I got the Chicago Foundry piece, and a nice vintage Lodge cornbread pan. So here they are. Get down! I'm gonna pick them up and put them down. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. He acts up when I'm on the phone or making a video. So here we go. Sorry about that. Anyway, that's what we have today. If you have any questions at all, please leave a comment or question below in the comment section. I will put my email address in the description if you have any questions or concerns. I'm going to go ahead and give these another coat, but these are very, very good, and they're almost ready to go. But I just wanted to show you where I was at with everything, and it's good to see everybody. And I will be back shortly. See you next time. Are you hungry? You want some food? We got some turkey and chicken today. Moist food and some kibbles. All right, can you sit? Yeah? Yeah, paw? Paw? The other paw? Ah, sit down. Paw? Paw? Good boy. The other one. Now he's really, really hungry, guys. There you go. Okay. All right. See you later, guys.